News Channel 8 is your local election headquarters, and we bring you all the candidates who are running to represent you. Today, we are joined by Angelica Perkis. She is the non-party affiliate candidate who is running to represent U.S. Congress in District 12, which includes part of northern Pinellas County. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. I appreciate you all for being here.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate the opportunity to expand our democracy beyond just the two parties. I want to talk to you a lot about that right now. Right now, our system is totally set up to be Republican versus Democrat. You are running against the incumbent Republican in District 12, who, between his father and he, Gus Bilirakis, has been there for nearly 40 years. He is the Republican incumbent, and then his challenger is the Democrat, Chris Hunter. You are running as the non-party affiliate candidate, and in our system, it's so difficult for candidates who are outside the two parties to get any traction. How do you feel like you'll be able to do that?
Well, isn't it exciting that I'm able to do that? You know, who would have thought it, but in this election cycle, an independent is what many people are looking for. In Pasco County, we have 101,000 independent voters registered. In Pinellas County and in Hillsborough County, there's nearly another 300,000. So now that's not my district in those two counties,
Right.
That's the whole county. But it's exciting that there's that many people who feel strongly enough that they're not represented by either party, that they're going to register as independents. And I think that that gives me a big opportunity to represent them.
Talk a little bit about yourself. Who are you, your background for the voters who are going to be going out to the polls now and up until Tuesday, and then what made you run?
Well, I'm a nurse practitioner, and so I take care of people. And I take care of people. At first, when I became a nurse, I worked in facilities, but my love is with home health care, and now as a nurse practitioner, I do house calls. So I work in the community. I see what's going on. My background, I have a small business my husband and I run this glass shop, so I'm fully aware of what it takes to run a small business in Pasco County. We've been there nearly 30 years. I also grew up in a family that was in manufacturing. So my father's family, I don't know if you remember, but in the 1960s, they had those fold-up lawn chairs with the webbing.
Mm-hmm.
That's us.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So I know what it takes to manufacture. I know what it takes to run a small business. I'm heavily involved in healthcare right now. I see all the flaws that it has, and there's so many things that need to be done better. So the two big parties that you talked about that are running our government and most people want to talk about have been mostly taken over by big corporations, and the people are thought to be those to serve those corporations. And so you see that in declining pensions, just generally wages, even in jobs. A lot of the nursing jobs nowadays are per diem, they're not full-time. You know, and so things have to change because they've been moving in the wrong direction. And it doesn't take much to change them. People think they're frustrated, and a lot of them don't go out and vote because they feel it won't make a difference. But if just a few independents get into U.S. Congress, they really can change the way that Congress votes, can't they?
Sure.
Because then it won't be a balance of two organizations who represent corporations, who represent big money. Then it'll be the balance of those few people in the middle who will be able to vote for what's good for the citizens. That's what we need. That's why I'm running.
That's excellent. And actually, we do see a few independents in the Senate, right? But they tend to caucus with the Democrats because they can't form their own caucus because there's not enough of them, right?
Well, this summer I went to the Unite Summit in Denver, Colorado. It was very interesting. I met people like Obama's campaign manager. I met people like Ross Perot's campaign manager. We talked at length. Hundreds of people were there who are sick of partisan politics. They're ready to look at the middle. They're ready to look at places where we all agree change needs to happen. Now, as I'm running with this candidacy, I have been working on our local government because there's a little bit of guidance needed in multiple areas, let's just say that. There's some destruction to the environment that's going on. There is a little bit of corruption corruption, a little bit of collusion. So I've been posting all of that on my website, and you can go there and read about it. But things have to get cleaned up a little bit before we start repairing.
You mentioned healthcare. Obviously,
Yes.
you work in healthcare.
I do.
How do you feel about the Affordable Care Act? And how do you feel about the state being party to a lawsuit to get rid of it, which could then endanger protections for pre-existing conditions for many Floridians? Where do you sit on that issue since you're so relevant to that?
Right. Well, many people benefit from the Affordable Care Act. It brings a lot of people health care who would normally not have health care. That being said, on the liberal side of things, on the conservative side of things, it affords the government, well, not really the government, it affords corporations a means to charge whatever they want and be paid by the government, which isn't right. We need to be able to negotiate, right? So with Medicare, I'm a firm believer that we should open up Medicare to be available for purchase for all immediately. There's better things that can be done down the road, but really when you look at it, 63% of all the medical care in the United States is paid for by the federal government. So we're really sitting here and we're arguing about a small percentage of people who are not yet covered by the government. You know, so why not include those people in the long run? Why not negotiate for things? Why are we, as American citizens, paying for all of the R&D for pharmaceuticals, and then they're sold in other countries, and those people don't have to pay that because they were developed here. And by the way, my business end of my knowledge has taken me to the SBIR, Small Business Innovative Research. And I've seen how the government funds 70% of R&D in the country. So for the pharmaceuticals to say, oh, this drug costs so much money to develop, well, we taxpayers are the ones who pay for it already.
Right.
And now we're going to be charged again. So having this knowledge that other candidates don't have, and there's lots more there, is something that brings me to the table, and people have been listening. I've been talking, I've been cut out of debates as an independent, but I've been talking to the population, and I have reached over 160,000 people in the last 6 months. And I've been talking to them freely here before that.
And hopefully you can reach more through this interview.
And
Where can people, I'm sure you have more on your website. Where can people go to learn more about you?
Angelica Perkis for uscongress.com.
Angelica Perkis for uscongress.com. We got the spelling there on the bottom of your screen. Thank you very much for joining us. Non-party affiliate candidate for U.S. Congress in District 12. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
No, it's good, he says.
Perfect. Great.
All right.
Good to see you. So what we'll do, I'll put that whole interview on our website and on our Facebook page sometime between now and Sunday. And then we will probably run a bite from that. We will run a bite from that interview on Sunday
Good.
during the political show.
And
And
how many will that do I get?
well, it depends on what we got time-wise. We've got to hit all the amendments. We've got two more interviews. So it's going to be, at the very least, it'll be a good way to drive people to the website. Drive people to the whole.
Well, I hope I get at least a third of a portion of what the other guys got.
Yeah, it's we're so tight on time here. But thank you very much for coming in.
Oh, you're welcome. You want to take a picture of my sign so you
Oh,
can
we
do a
should,
quick
yeah.
flash of that?
You know what?
I skipped a rock across the water. I sailed a sailboat on the sea. Will it be the same for my daughter? Now we're killing all we see. You can look at the North Star to find your way at night. Hide your eyes from the sunlight if it gets too bright. I wouldn't be surprised if I opened my eyes and it's gone. Where we gonna find our food and water? I don't think we'll find it on TV. save us from the slaughter. When all that's left is you and me. You can look at the North Star to find your way at night. Hide your eyes from the sunlight if it gets too bright. Now I'm thinking of her in a place in the great mystery. I wouldn't be surprised if I opened my eyes and it's gone. It's all gone. To find your way at night, hide your eyes from the sunlight